this is good for me to hear, and I think it'll be good for a lot of my listeners here, that I've used the phrase "get off my lawn" a lot of times in this season of the podcast because there's sort of a nostalgia texture to a lot of what I'm talking about. And then sometimes in the context of travel, I'll complain about the way that smartphones have diluted travel to a certain extent. But I think maybe "get off my lawn," which is itself a metaphor, is not as good as, well, hey there, young fellow,
why are you on my lawn?
Why are you on my lawn? Do you have any tips for making it greener? I haven't mastered that metaphor yet, but it feels like it was essential that we should never shut doors on people younger than us.
This gives me an epiphany. This is actually a big life epiphany that I think I'll remember for the rest of my life. And I'm thinking of it right now. I probably reached out to hundreds of potential mentors through this 7-year journey. People who I wanted to learn from, people I cold emailed for advice. The two that not only became the mentors that changed my life, but are still my closest friends, Cal Fussman and Elliot Bisnow, are the two I can vividly remember not giving me advice upon first meeting me, but instead asking questions. Cal.
There you go.
I didn't sit down with Cal to tell him anything. I went to learn from him. And instead, and it wasn't a shtick. It's just who he is. He said, "Our hero's dead." Elliot Bisnow started asking me about my process. How are you funding this book? And then Elliot's like, whoa. I think a good mentor can see who the mentee is before the mentee can see who the mentee is. And
that may be the case. I didn't really think of it in terms of mentoring. I thought
it's your instincts to ask questions.
That's right. I just saw he needs some help. And also, it was a great idea.
Right.
And maybe I felt what the acquiring editor understood, that if this is executed right, this can be a great book.
But that was maybe on our third meeting we even got there. I would say the first two meetings were really about, I remember the first thing I ever emailed you is I promised you, I was like, all right, I'll send you this email with a YouTube link of a Tony Hsieh talk and a YouTube link of a Tim Ferriss talk. And I think, or Gary Vaynerchuk talk. And I think those were the first two things I sent you. And you watched them. First of all, it's very rare to meet someone very accomplished who meets a stranger, asks them questions, one, and then actually follows up and follows their curiosity.
So there was that curiosity instinct that maybe Alex is saying that was your response to him initially. And actually, I think that has rooted itself in Alex, too, because when I interviewed you for my podcast and I told my story about how Tim Ferriss actually didn't really follow the rules that he gave you the first time he emailed me, you started asking questions, right? I think this is one thing that mentors and mentees should both remember is that everybody has permission to ask questions, in part because people, and you guys can disagree with me, might be more inclined to give advice rather than to have a conversation.
Giving advice comes from ego. When I first met Cal, it wasn't the Cal Fussman show where he was trying to, drop knowledge upon me.
No, I was just trying to figure out how to help him. And the other thing about it, which I should have pointed out, that first day, I also told him, look, I'm not going to write a single word of